Hello, and welcome to another sweat-wiping edition of Towel Talk with your host, Tim the TechTV Towel. Me, I'm Tim. Today we're graced with the presence of the lovely and talented Megan Morrone.
Hi!
Hello, Megan, and welcome to Towel Talk.
Hi, Tim. It's good to finally meet you.
Finally meet me. We've met like 106 times last year. Anyway, forget it. Let's get to the questions. First of all, Austin. What is the deal with Austin? Did everyone at TechTV come from Austin?
Well, right after college, I went to work at Borders bookstore, my first job. I was actually writing at the time. I was going to be writing the great American novel. I didn't learn in college that you can't just do that and have it accepted and then survive on that, usually. So I was working at a bookstore, and I was working with Josh Lawrence. And actually, at first, I was not working. I was working with Ray Weigel from Extended Play and also the Lab, the guy with the red curly hair. And he had also just graduated from college. And then later, Josh came, because he was living in Houston, and he came to work at the same bookstore. And then moved out here, had all kinds of different jobs. And then when I came to interview at TechTV, I interviewed with Tom Merritt, who, we were just talking about all of, what you talk about in interview stuff. And of course, didn't have Borders on my resume anymore because, I had, done all kinds of internet jobs, and it didn't really belong that I was, a clerk at a bookstore. So, but it just came up that I had been in Austin and worked at a bookstore. And he's like, lived in Austin and worked at a bookstore too. And then I actually believe that's how I got the job, because we had that in common.
All right, moving on. When you tell people that you work for a variety show about technology, do they have any idea what you're talking about at all?
Yeah, definitely no one understands, because I really didn't have a background in any of this. So it starts there. They don't, they never really saw me as someone who wanted to be on TV, or so they do know that I have had strange jobs, so they can accept it in that way. I delivered pizza. Not that that's really that strange, but. And I had some other strange jobs. None of them are coming to me. I've blocked them all out. But, I was a receptionist, and I did all this stuff. So they kind of expected that from me. But
this isn't exactly delivering pizzas. This is live television about computers. That's a little more than strange.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think that people they don't understand. Either if they get the network, then it's one thing, But very few people that I know do or have in the past. They don't understand. I have a friend that lives in London, and she doesn't even have a TV. And so she's known that I've been doing this for a few years, but she just came to visit, and she was just like, now explain to me what you do exactly. And I tried to explain, and then I showed her a tape, and she was just sat there with her eyes open. She was like, I can't believe this is what you do. So, it's fun.
So do you forward your fan pages to friends, to rub it in and stuff?
I don't send them. It's easy enough to find, Google. They'll usually find them themselves and send them to me and think, can you believe, who are these people that are making this?
You ever get emails from old high school buddies that you forgot about and really don't want to talk to?
Yeah, actually, mostly junior high. I don't know why that is, but I went to a different junior high than I went to high school. I went to a public junior high in Katy, Texas, which I guess they've had, around in Houston, they've had TechTV for a long time, so people have been watching it. But I often get emails. I've probably a dozen people from junior high are like, are you the same person? Because I have a different last name because I got married. So, it was interesting. I got an email the other day from this boy that I went with. He was, my boyfriend in 7th grade. And he said he was watching the Thunderbirds. He's a huge Thunderbirds fan. And then the screensavers came on right after that, which I thought that was funny because I think of people watching the screensavers and then catching Thunderbirds, but there are a lot of people, I guess, who love the Thunderbirds.
Ex-junior high boyfriends, as the case may be.
Exactly, of mine.
So, have you gone to one of these junior high school reunions? You must be the belle of the ball.
I went to my high school reunion last October, and no one had ever seen the show. And see, it's hard to explain, too, because then you're like, yeah, I'm on TV, and they're like, what? How come I've never seen you? And it's and a lot of people even have the network, but just never get up that far.
So what's it like when a fan does recognize you? Do they try to cut off a piece of your body and sell it on eBay? You know, that happened to me like 15 times last year, you know. You start losing parts of yourself. You show up on the computer anyway. Ever happened to you?
No, I mean, it's fun, actually, when it happens. Like, I was out on Haight Street with my husband, and there was this woman, and she was just staring at me. And finally, she came over, and she was like, "Are you Megan from TechTV?" And that was pretty fun, actually. And, of course, when we went to see Star Wars, when it was Patrick and Leo and Morgan and I, we had people come up, but that was kind of an anomaly. And then Leo and I went to get coffee before the show the other day in our, like, Potrero Hill, the neighborhood where the studio is, which, like, you would just expect no one to be there. And we were crossing the street, and there were some people staring at us, and they stopped the car. And we were kind of, like, afraid, because it's not the best neighborhood in the world. And this guy leans out of the car, he's like, "You're the people from TechTV." And then he asked us to sign his Starbucks cup, which was exciting. So it's more people are watching the show. I can tell, like, more people. And I always think maybe there are people out there that do recognize us, but just don't say anything.
So is it weird for you to be on TV, or is this like old hat for you by now?
Yeah, I've gotten more used to it. I mean, definitely was really, really nervous in the beginning, and now it's just like, sometimes I still get nervous, but most of the time I'm just like, well, whatever. I mean, I think at one point where I knew that I had really, like, gotten used to it was, like, I stuck my face in front of the camera by accident. Like, I was just kind of working, and, like, there was stuff going on, and then I just kind of went there, and there was the camera, and there's a monitor before, and I could see my face, and I was like, well, I guess I've forgotten the cameras are there, which they've been telling me to do. I kind of got in trouble for that.
So, give it to me straight. Are you really a Mac freak? Do you really think it's better than Windows?
I do. I mean, it's probably, mostly it's because I've always used a Mac, you know, since my sophomore year in high school when I had my first Mac, and I've had different ones, like they got me through college, and I feel like I had this really bad Mac in 1998, this PowerBook 1600 CS, which was it was right before Steve Jobs came back, and it was kind of at their low point, and I feel like I've just been there. I never gave up on them, and so for that reason, I feel like they'll never give up on me.
You and Morgan ever get in like a cat fight over operating systems? That would be crazy. I'd love to see that. No, because I mean, I use Windows. I mean, certainly there are things about Windows that, I mean, some things that are superior. I guess, you know, for a while there was a long period where there's no software available for Mac, and that was frustrating. But no, Morgan and I don't fight because, like, that would just be silly. I fight with Patrick about it sometimes, but I think he just likes to criticize Mac just for the fun of it, just to, like, get our goat and just to have something to criticize. So, I mean, sometimes I just let him go. But, you know, it's all preference. And the other thing is, like, Macs are generally more expensive, so it's like you can't go around saying, like, everyone should buy a Mac, because, I mean, a lot of people can't even afford a computer at all, and so, like, it's just whatever they can afford is, I mean, I wouldn't want them to, like, not have a computer because they couldn't afford to buy a Mac. Finally, let's forget about TechTV for a minute. What would you do if you didn't have to work for a living at all? Like you won the lottery or something, or, you know, you're just lazy.
I'd be at home raising kids. I'd probably try to, like, write fiction again. That's what I would do if I had any spare time at all. You know, volunteer and just, like, play with my computer and just find out stuff. And
you know, Patrick said he would teach children to read.
Yeah, I mean, that would be great to not work, but that's not going to happen, unfortunately, as I've been told several times by my husband.
And that's about all the time we have. Thank you very much, Megan Morrone.
Bye, Tim. I hope to see you around. It was good talking to you.
The pleasure was all mine, and the viewers. The viewers probably like this a lot. I mean, it's not all mine. It's shared. It's a shared thing. Anyway, we're running out of tape. Okay, bye.